Um, Today we're going to start out laying down, and you can get comfortable on your back. We're going to begin with our breathing exercise. We'll start to shift gears here with a new breathing exercise. We'll work on that for several weeks, just like we usually do. It's called Viloma breathing. Many of you have done it before, but it's been a while. So as you're getting comfortable, just listen. I'm going to just instruct that breath. It's a 3-part inhale. So you'll imagine your torso is like a vase. You're going to fill it up from the bottom all the way up to your head. So you'll take a small sip of air in, you'll pause at your stomach. You'll take a second sip of air in, pause at your heart. Third sip of air in, you'll pause at your head. And then one long exhale all the way out. The breath is going to come in and out through your nose. So breathing in through your nose, pause at the belly. Breathing in through your nose, pause at the heart. Breathing in through your nose, pause at the head. Exhaling all the air out. Okay, so before we get going on that rhythm, just take a few moments here to deepen your breath. Start to get that breath moving in and out through the nose, making any adjustments to your comfortable position on your back. Shoulders relaxed down the back, slightly tilt your chin into your chest. Another deep breath in through your nose. Nice long breath out through your nose. We'll begin Viloma breathing. Inhale, small inhale, pause at your belly. Another inhale, pause at your heart. Third inhale, pause at your head. Exhaling all the air out. So if you just joined, Viloma breathing is a 3-part inhale, 1 long exhale. Again, inhale, pause at the belly. Inhale, pause at the heart. Inhale, pause at the head. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale, head. Exhale. 2 more rounds of breathing here, just like that. Inhale, belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale, head. Exhale. Last time, inhale, belly. Inhale, heart. Inhale, head. 1 long exhale. Let go of your Viloma breath. Return to the normal breath in and out through your nose. Start to bend your knees. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Notice how, as you're rocking side to side, how your low back feels, how your hips feel. I'm going to work pretty deeply into our hips today. So we'll start off pretty gentle, just a little supine twist. Our knees are going to go off to the left side, which means your right hip is on top. Your right arm is trying to stretch off to the right side, and you're trying to stay grounded through your right shoulder. So you're rotating your hips and your legs. Now your knees can stay bent. And if you want to try stacking your ankles underneath your knees so it's more like a 90-degree angle in your legs, you can try that. Sometimes that intensifies the twist. You could also try extending out long through the legs. And that means that your ankles, your knees are all in line with your hips pointing off to the left side of the room. If there's a lot of space in between the floor and that left leg, or if there's a lot of space in between the knees and the thighs, use a prop there, especially if you're being pulled, if your upper body's being pulled into the twist with your legs. You want to add some support underneath and between the legs. Okay, and now here, we're going to be here for 3 minutes. Let's return to our Viloma breath. So you're just going to keep practicing that Viloma breath. I will walk us through it a few rounds, and then I'll let you have an experience on your own. Okay, so nice deep breath in to prepare. Long breath out. We'll begin. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale head. One long exhale. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale head. Exhale. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale all the way up to the head. Exhale, nice long exhale. And keep going with that. Try it on your own for a few rounds. And try 3 more rounds of Valoma breath here. And then we're going to start to unwind. Let go of your Valoma breath. Unwind, come onto your back. And take your time with that. Once you're in the center of your mat, hug your knees into your chest again. And this time, let's reach up for the feet for happy baby. If the feet feel too far away, grab for around your calves or the backs of the knees. Try to, in your happy baby, stay grounded in your shoulders and your tailbone. Just trying to get your spine on the floor. Moving that stretch deeper into the hips. We're just prepping the hips for things that we're going to do a little bit later on in our practice. You can rock your happy baby side to side. You can extend out through the legs one at a time and rock side to side. And take one more breath here. And let's release the legs. Bring those feet back to the mat. This time, actually, what I typically do when we're coming into a twist is this setup. So just keep it in mind for future. Feet back to the mat, knees bent. Bump your hips off to the left. Hips off to the left. Knees off to the right. That means when you're turning your legs off to the right side, your spine, your torso, should still be vertical down the center of your mat, even though your legs have moved off to the side. Usually our hips want to go with the legs. And yes, they're pointing in the same direction as the knees and the feet, but we don't want to be at a diagonal with the torso. Again, so trying to stay grounded through your left shoulder. If you need to add support in between the legs, underneath that outer right leg, please do it, especially if your left shoulder is coming off the mat. That means you've gone too far in your twist. Add support. Again, you can keep the knees bent or you can try straightening out through the legs, whatever is going to be sustainable for you for the next 3 minutes. And here again, let's return to our Viloma breath. I will count out 3 rounds of that, and then you'll have an experience of it on your own. Just a big breath in. Nice long breath out. Begin, inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale head. Long exhale. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale head. Long exhale. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale head. Long exhale. Keep going with your Viloma breath. Trying it on your own. Okay, we're going to start to let go of that Viloma breath. So your next exhale can be your last here. Begin to unwind when you're ready. Take your time with that exit. Coming back to the center of your mat, let's return to the happy baby. You're reaching up for your feet, your calves, or the backs of your knees. Stay grounded in shoulders and tailbone. Add movement if you would like to. And now we're going to hug the knees into the chest. You can rock and roll a few times. We're going to come up to a seated position and set up for our forward fold. And we're going to really heavily prop our forward fold so that it's sustainable. I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few weeks ago, maybe more like a month, I gave you this option for a forward fold to come into a chair. And yes, it's still a forward fold. Yes, you're still getting all the benefits if you're sitting in a chair. So if sitting on the floor for you makes your back body round and really lean back on your tailbone, try it in a chair. You can take your feet wide, knees wide. You can bring a prop in front of you, like pillows or a stool, and you're just going to drape your belly down in between your thighs. You can fold your hands underneath your forehead and relax there like that. It's a really nice way to take a forward fold. If you want to stay on the floor, please add a prop underneath your sits bones. So a folded blanket, pillow, or block, or book, whatever you've got. We're going to bend the knees. So you're going to want another prop or two underneath your knees. I'm going to use my big, taking out the big guns, the big bolster. All right, so deep bend in the knees. Again, feet can be like mat width distance apart. So we're trying to get the belly to relax in between the thighs here. Okay, so if you're a little bit more bendy, you have a little bit more range of motion, Here's your option. You can always take blankets and pillows on top of the thighs underneath the belly. That's such a sweet way to take this forward fold. It's so soothing for the nervous system. And then if your head's not reaching the floor, you can always stack props underneath the forehead as well. Okay, so take a few moments to make those adjustments that you need to. Your first shape, the first time you come into a shape, you don't have to immediately be stuck there. You can always make those adjustments. Eventually, we're looking for the place of stillness that is sustainable, right? So take the time for the setup so that you can get comfortable and become still. We have about 4 minutes in this shape. And just as a reminder, the hands don't have to reach the feet. They don't need to get anywhere. You can simply fold the hands underneath the forehead or drape them over the top of the legs. Just let them fall anywhere that they fall. Maybe a little bit harder, feel like a little bit harder to do Philoma breath here, but just remember these inhales, the three-part inhale, are just small sips of air. So give it a try. Empty all the air out of the lungs. Begin, inhale belly, inhale heart, inhale head, one long exhale. Keep going with that Philoma breath. Okay, so we have 1 more minute here. Try to recommit to that Philoma breath if you've forgotten about it. And it's okay to forget. That's why we practice. We practice so we can remember. Okay, so the next exhalation, let go of that Philoma breath. You're going to slowly start to sit your way back up. Let your head be the last thing that lifts. You're just kind of uncurling the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Take it slow, take it slow. And then when you're sitting up, we're just going to take a counter twist before we move into our next shape. So big breath in, stretch the arms overhead. Exhale, let's rotate off to the left, your left fingertips behind you like a little kickstand, right hand to the outer right thigh. Really root down through your left fingertips, get taller through your spine. And then you can turn your head over your shoulder if that feels good on the neck. Let's take one breath here. And inhale, unwind, come back through center, reach those arms high overhead. Exhale, right fingertips behind you. Press down through those right fingertips and use that pressure down to lift up through your spine, grow tall. And then you might add the gaze over that right shoulder. If that feels okay on the neck. Deep breath in, get tall. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, come back to center, unwind. And we'll set up our next shape. All right, so Supta Baddha Konasana. We're gonna work into the internal thighs. So those are your adductors, internal thigh muscles. If you want to, you can, just like we would create that little ramp if we were working the shoulders and the upper body, you can have this shape do double duty. So whatever you've got at home, it doesn't have to be this particular setup. But if you do have blocks, I like a block on a low setting and a block on a high setting. And then I place a bolster on top of that. So this is a ramp for my spine. You can also just lay pillows underneath your chest and the back of your head. Stacked blankets work pretty well too. And then, so for our legs, here's where the focus is, that external rotation of the thighs. We want to make sure that this is sustainable for the thighs. That might mean that you need some support, a prop underneath that outer right and outer left thigh. I like to take a rolled up blanket across the width of my mat and let my thighs rest on top of that. Once you've got that all set, lay back. Make those adjustments that you need to make this kind of feel some sensation along the inner edges of the thighs. That's what we're aiming for here. We've got about 4 minutes in this shape. You want to do a little bit of shoulder work, maybe adding on some snow angels with the arms. Feels pretty nice, especially if you're elevating your chest on props. So for snow angels, inhale, arms reach up and overhead, biceps alongside the ears. Your exhale, your arms can go wide. Your arms can stay straight as you do that, or you can bend your elbows. Either way, both work. Now do that a few times if you're doing it. So arms overhead as you breathe in. Arms wide or elbows wide as you breathe out. Typically, there's one side that feels a lot more sensation or gives you a lot more feedback than the other. I always like to notice when I'm doing this how one arm gets closer to the floor than the other. It's always just an interesting lesson in a little bit out of balance on that side. Eventually, let's find a place to be still. Breathe. Return to your Viloma breath. 3 parts to your inhale, 1 long exhale. Let your breath guide you into a deeper state of relaxation. Take one more round of Aloma breath here. And then let go of that Aloma breath. Let your breath come back to normal. Just bring the soles of the feet back to the mat. Heel toe your feet out wide. Keep your knees bent. And then let your knees knock side to side. Just a little release for the low back. Knees knock side to side with the feet wide and the knees are bent. Good. Now we're going to come into our final Shavasana, and I'm going to suggest a specific setup. We're going to try elevating our legs. So you're going to want a few props. You can stack props together to add more height. Demonstrate with my blocks and my bolster. Again, you don't have to have blocks to do this. You can just have a bunch of pillows or a bunch of blankets or a combination of the two. So you're just adding height underneath your calf muscles, underneath the backs of the knees. Ideally, the backs of the knees are in contact with the edge of your props, so that when you lay down and you swing your legs over that, the backs of the knees are in contact with something tangible. We have all these trigger points. If you've ever had acupuncture or seen a Chinese medicine doctor, we know that there are all of these high frequency energy points throughout our body, and every philosophical and medicinal belief system have different words for them. In Chinese philosophy, they're meridians or acupressure points. And the backs of the knees is one of those. So when we put a little pressure there, we get a nice little parasympathetic nervous system response. Let's take a minute in our Shavasana. Deep breath in, relax your shoulders down your back. Deep breath out. Imagine yourself letting it all go, letting it all rest for this last minute here. If you have more time, please stay in Shavasana longer. If you need to move on with your day, start to awaken. Wiggle fingertips and toes. Move your head side to side. Feel free to close your practice on your back, or if you'd like to, come to an upright seat. You can let your seat be supported. Sit up nice and tall. Eyes might be closed or gaze is soft. Big breath in. Long breath out. One round of Aloma breath. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale head. Exhale, let it go. Joining the hands together at the heart. Bowing the chin into the chest with reverence and gratitude to the practice. May you remember that you will always be okay. Find a light that guides you and keeps you safe. Have hope, help, and happiness along the way. Namaste, yogis.